military exercise to fall asleep in 2 minutes. Truth or lie? Hey, it's Coach Vukan, and today I want to talk with you about have you heard of the military exercise that apparently is supposed to help you fall asleep in just 2 minutes? Well, if you haven't, it's basically just some relaxation and visualization. It's nothing groundbreaking, but what I want to talk with you about is this. Is it actually possible to use some exercise, whether military exercise or some other type of exercise, to fall asleep in 2 minutes at night, or is that a huge lie? Well, that's what we're gonna answer today by doing 3 things. First of all, I'm gonna share with you our next story inside the sleep series as it relates to the military exercise that I just described. Second, we're gonna go back to the military. You and me are going to go back into the military. We're gonna put on our military shoes, put on a cap, and see a military soldier how he is handling sleep in the center of the battlefield. Is he doing military exercise or is he doing something else? So, we're gonna take a look at 2 different people trying to fall asleep, having problems sleeping, and see how they do. So that's the second thing, and let's see, do I have something else on our agenda today? And finally, of course, we're gonna reveal or come to the conclusion, the answer to the question, does sleep in 2 minutes possible or not? That's what we're gonna do together today. So let's get started, shall we? Alright. With our story today, we begin with Aaron. And Aaron, as you're listening to this story, I want you to pay attention, because Aaron is going to try and fall asleep in just 2 minutes doing this exercise, and I want you to pay attention to what is he doing and how is that affecting his ability to fall asleep. Alright? Good. So, and as you do so, this will also be very beneficial for your sleep as well. So, Aaron, he's a man who's been having trouble sleeping at night. He works as the chief cybersecurity man at the White House. Basically, he protects the White House from cyber attackers, from cyber terrorists. With his job, however, recently he's been getting a lot of attacks on his personal computer, so he's feeling a little bit stressed out. He cannot fall asleep at night. So right now he hasn't been sleeping well for the last 7 days. And now he's in the cafeteria at the White House eating and thinking, well, what am I gonna do? I wanna try a new strategy to fall asleep, but I don't know what strategy to try. And that is when Wise, also known, if you've been here on our series for a while, you know her as the bringer of bad sleep, or also the sleep vampire. She comes to Aaron, and she sits next to him, wearing all black with her dark blue hair and her dark blue nails. She sits next to him. She introduces herself as the new secretary of the commissioner of something. It doesn't matter the details. And she starts talking with Aaron, and she asks him, of course, about what are these giant brown bags below his eyes, and he tells her that he hasn't been sleeping well for so long. And she says, I know exactly what you need. You need to do the military 2-minute exercise. Aaron asked, what is that exercise? Well, if you don't know it, it's basically you do for 1 minute and 50 seconds body relaxation, and then the last 10 or 20 seconds you visualize yourself sleeping in a pitch black room or something like that. If you wanna learn more specifics about what the exercise is. If you don't know it, you can definitely pause this video, go and check that out, and then come right back in here. Alright? Now, so Oasis told him, and Aaron thought to himself, well, if the military uses it, maybe that will help him as well. So that night he went, right before as he went to bed, he decided to try this exercise. And that is what he did. He went to bed, putting his head on his pillow. He did the breathing, he relaxed his muscles, he visualized himself, and then he tried to fall asleep. But he also thought back to his previous day, to that woman that he had met, to the different cyber attacks that had been going on so much recently, and he then woke up. He decided to take a snack. So he went to his kitchen, he took some cookies, he took some ice cream, he ate that up, went back to sleep, and then he remembered, okay, I gotta do that exercise again. So he did the exercise again, and then he tried to fall asleep. That night, Oasis, the sleep vampire, she crept into Aaron's bedroom. Through his window, she went to his bed. She smiled with her long, sharp teeth. And as she went next to Aaron, she tried to pierce her teeth into Aaron's neck. Now, did she do it? Did Aaron's exercise work? If Aaron's exercise worked, a 2-minute military exercise, that means Oasis, the sleep vampire, will not be able to pierce his neck. If it did not work, however, she will pierce his neck, and when she pierces his neck, you know what happens? Poison. That is right, when you don't sleep, there are all these chemicals that stay in your brain and in your body, that cause a lot of brain cell death and a lot of body cell death, which increases your risk of Alzheimer's, diabetes, heart attack. In other words, the shorter your sleep, the shorter your lifespan is. So, we don't want that for our character Aaron. We don't want the sleep vampire to seep away his sleep. So what is going to happen with him? Well, before we find that out, I want to talk with you about Michael. Mike, he's a World War I soldier. He is in the ditches, laying there. Imagine that you are also there with Mike in the ditches. You can hear the rustle of uniforms, the shrapnel sound in the distance. You can smell gunpowder and blood and sweat in the air. And as you do that, you can also see a lot of mud in the ditches. It's very muddy. It's just showered a few hours ago, so it's full of rain, it's full of water. And this man, Mike, he hasn't slept for the last 24 hours. He woke up early that morning, very, very early. Every single morning, while all his other soldier mates were sleeping, Mike, he got up, he exercised, because exercise and his health are very important to him. So he did that, then he ate well, then right after breakfast, he started fighting in World War I. However, it has been 24 hours now, and Aaron is feeling perished. He cannot go any longer. He needs to sleep. So what does he do? You can see him in the ditch. Not Aaron. This is another character. We have Mike. Mike, after this day where he woke up, he exercised, he ate well, and then he was on his mission fighting. Now he decided to go to bed, and on that muddy floor he went to bed and he slept. He didn't even do 2-minute military exercise. He just went to bed, making his sack, using his sack as a pillow. He put his head on the sack, his body on the mud, and he went to sleep right then and there. And he slept peacefully. Now what about our character, Aaron, and the sleep vampire? Is he gonna sleep well? He did try the military exercise after all. Well, here's what happened to Aaron. All wise as a sleep vampire, she got close to him, and she took her teeth. She put them right on Aaron's neck. Her poison teeth pierced right through his neck. And as she did, she seeped away his sleep, and she poured in poison in him. Now, why? Well, before we answer that question, let's go back to Mike real quick, because he did fall asleep. But if you know, falling asleep is just half the battle. Staying asleep during the night, that's the thing. Not waking up 5, 10, 15 times during the night, but actually staying asleep during the night. That is the big one, isn't it? So how did Mike's night go? World War I, going back there. So Mike, he's laying in the ditch, he's sleeping, he slept for the last 2 hours peacefully when a grenade exploded nearby him. So now he woke up, he looked around, he took his gun, he shot an enemy soldier, and he went back into the ditch. He made himself comfortable, and he continued sleeping as if nothing had happened. He continued sleeping for the next 2-3 hours, and then he heard the gunfire shots firing everywhere around him. So he took his gun again, he started and he continued fighting. Bam, bam, and so on. Thank you, man. And after he was done, after he defeated the enemy soldiers along with his comrades, he went back to the ditch, he made himself comfortable, and he slept once again. Going back to Aaron. Aaron that night, he just went around in bed, he tried the military exercise one more time, trying to imagine himself sleeping well, relaxing his muscles as much as he could, forcefully doing so. But still he could not fall asleep. Why? What is the difference between these two men, between Aaron and Mike, who was able to fall asleep during World War I? Well, here's the difference. It is this: their level of environment resilience. Environment resilience is simply your resilience to things happening in the environment, like things like stress, anxiety, noises, especially in the case of Mike with all these different grenades and fires, and in your case it could be loud neighbors, it could be snoring from your partner or a friend. All of these things from the environment, whether it's noises or stress or anxiety, they are your resilience level. Whether you go sleep easily, you can almost think of it, not almost, but literally think of it like this. I drew this before we began here, just for you. So, with your resilience, you can think of it as the y-axis on a graph, and on the x-axis we have the night. the higher your resilience level is, the better, the easier you fall asleep and the better sleep you have during the night. That is it. In other terms, you can think of it also like this to simplify it. More resilience, more sleep. Less level of resilience, less sleep, or no sleep in a lot of cases. That is it. That's the big difference between the two cases. So how does that exactly translate it to Aaron and Mike not sleeping? Can you see that? Well, before we answer that question, let me ask you real quick. So does the 2-minute military exercise actually work? Comment down below. Do you, after everything we've just been through, what do you think? Is it real or is it fake? Well, here's the thing. It can very well work. It might work. I have certain predispositions against that exercise that I'm gonna leave for another episode. But let's say it works. It will not work if you have low level of resilience. Why? Because you are putting all this energy on a magic spell, basically, something that you do for just 2 minutes. Magic spells do not exist. There's practice and there's magic spells. You don't believe in magic spells, do you? Of course not. You and me, we realize if we want something, if we really value something, we gotta work for it. When something is valuable and worth working for, like our sleep, that is what we do. And so Aaron and Mike, what happened there? Well, here's what happened. Aaron, during the night, he put all his energy, all his intention on using this exercise to magically help him fall asleep. He pushed himself too hard during the day. He overate before sleeping with all those cookies that we mentioned. And then he was also stressing himself by thinking of what had happened during that day and all the cyber attackers, instead of letting go and falling asleep as one should do right before bed. He had a low level of resilience. Low level of resilience, bad sleep. Mike, on the other hand, World War I, our hero of the day, he had a high level of resilience. He woke up early, he fought in battle, he did not even try to do anything during the night, which is one of the secrets, by the way. When you want to fall asleep, you don't do anything. That's the best way you fall asleep. You don't try to do anything. You just put your head on the pillow and you fall asleep. And that is what Aaron did. What Mike, did. Again, more resilience, more sleep. Less resilience, less or no sleep. That is it. And if you're wondering, how do I bring my resilience up instead of down? Well, I'm gonna leave some info about that down in the description. You can check that out if you want. So, for today, let me just check. Do we have something else? That's it, actually. That's it with our episode. We had a short episode here. But next time, we have some interesting things coming up in our sleep series. On December 16th, we're gonna come back, and just a week after that, you know what's coming up next. Well, if you don't know, make sure after you subscribe to hit the notification bell. And after you hit the notification bell, you get notified as soon as our next episode comes up. And especially you want to make sure you do that because what is coming up is this, a grand finale of our season 2 of the Sleep series. We're gonna see Somnus, the king of sleep, having insomnia. How did that happen? How did the king of sleep fall on a bad sleep? That isn't supposed to happen, right? Well, that is going to happen. How? Tune in next time as we start revealing how the Sleep King is going to fall into bad sleep. And also, Eren, is he going to defeat Oroys as the sleep vampire? Or is she going to continue sucking his sleep away and also poisoning him, increasing his risk of brain damage, of brain cell loss, brain damage, and all these bad things that we don't want? Well, that's what we're gonna find out next time. So, before I check off here for today, I wanna thank you for hanging out with me. It shows me you're still here. Some people left after 2, maybe 3 minutes. They just heard something about a military exercise, or they just scroll down further ahead to hear about is it true, is it not, but you stayed till the last minute, and I wanna thank you. This shows me that you are someone who is actually serious about your health, about your sleep. And when it comes to sleep, by the way, have I told you, what do you think is the most important when it comes to health? Is it exercising, is it food, or is it sleep? Well, researchers have been talking about that a lot recently, and they've come to the conclusion it's sleep. Think about it. If you don't eat, well, a lot of people are fasting nowadays. Not eating, it's not the worst thing in the world. There are also children in Africa who don't eat for 24, 48 hours. After that, it becomes kind of bad, but for the most part, if you don't eat, you're not gonna die or anything like that. However, when it comes to sleep, if you don't sleep, the sleep vampire just puts all this poison inside your head, killing brain cells. It's bad. Sleep is the most important thing when it comes to your health. And again, you hang out with me till the end. It shows me you're somebody who values your sleep and your health. So I wanna thank you for that. There are not so many people who recognize the value, the importance of their sleep, and that's why they're gonna, as we said, less sleep, or the shorter you sleep, the shorter your lifespan is. But on the other hand, the more you sleep, the better you sleep, the longer you sleep, the longer your lifespan is as well. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you next time on November or December, actually December 16th for episode 8. It's gonna be that one is gonna be a good one. So again, make sure you hit the notification bell so that once our next episode arrives, you get notified and you don't miss out on all the good stuff. My name is Coach Vulcan. I will see you next time. Bye.